Welcome to Today in the NCA. I'm your host, Ranger Anica, and today's topic is our interpretive signs. I don't know about you guys, but I love a good interpretive sign. But I understand that might be a little bit confusing. A lot of people think interpretation is just translation, because if you ask for an interpreter, they might be translating English to Spanish, Mandarin to Danish, whatever you need. But interpretation is much more than that. The definition of interpretation is the action of explaining the meaning of something. Now that makes sense as far as translation, because you're explaining the meaning of one language into the meaning of another language, but interpretation doesn't just stop there. If you watch any of our videos where there's a lot of staff members, and if you're not, why aren't you? You'll notice that my title is Park Ranger, Interpretation. And that's because there's actually a wide variety of park rangers. We have law enforcement park rangers, visitor use management park rangers, and park rangers like me that do interpretation. Now, I don't actually translate anything. I'm doing environmental interpretation. Environmental interpretation, the way I usually describe it to people is I learn about the environment, nature, and the place, and interpret it in a way that makes you want to care about it. So I'm explaining the meaning of this place in ways that make more sense. So now that we know that definition of interpretation, let's talk about the signs. These signs are a great way to get interpretation to you when we can't be there. We'd like to be, but human cloning isn't quite there yet. Maybe someday. We have a lot of interpretive signs already in the conservation area, but some have gotten a little weathered. Ooh, make it stop. The sun here is brutal, and it takes a toll on our signs. So we've been going around Red Rock, replacing them. And while we're at it, rewriting them, giving them new art, and making them even better than before. The first new set of interpretive signs you can see at the Red Spring Boardwalk. These signs are in both English and Spanish, and answer any questions you might have about the area. I think these signs are great, and I'm not the only one. These signs won third place in outdoor exhibit with the National Association for Interpretation 2020 Media Awards. Go us! Ah! We're not just stopping there though. Last year we put in all new signs at Lost Creek and Willow Spring. We won't know till the end of the year if they're award winning, but you should definitely check them out. Earlier this month we put in new signs at Calico 1 and Calico 2, and currently we're writing and creating signs to go at the High Point Overlook. Eventually, all the interpretive signs within the Scenic Drive will be replaced, and we're hoping the areas outside of the Scenic Drive will have interpretive signs as well. So what goes into making an interpretive sign? Quite a bit. Ours are really collaborative. You have interpretive park rangers like me from the Bureau of Land Management, naturalists from Southern Nevada Conservancy, one of our partners, and Skydance Studios, which does the artwork, arranges them, and makes these signs look as gorgeous as they do. The first thing we have to decide is, what do we want to interpret about these signs? What information is important to tell you? What questions do you probably have? What should you know after you visit this place? Some of the things we've answered on recent signs are, why are the rocks red? Who lived here before? What animals live here? What are those things climbing up the rocks? Things like that. So we get together and do some writing, figure out a layout, what illustrations or pictures that we want on the sign, what other messages we need to convey, a bunch of editing, and then, ta-da, you have an interpretive sign. When all that's done, we send them off to the printer and get ready to install. Sign locations are analyzed to make sure they're not negatively impacting the environment or the archaeological resources that might be at that location. Then comes installation. This can be a bit difficult because the signposts need to go down about 18 inches or 45 centimeters, and we have hard, rocky soil and caliche. Apologies to the crew that put in the Calico 1 signs, because I picked a spot that had solid rock a foot down. Once the holes are done, we put the base in, make sure that it's level and ADA accessible, pour in some concrete, let it dry, then install the sign, and it's good to go. The whole process is relatively quick and really fascinating to watch. There's a time lapse here if you want to see it for yourself. The next sign that goes up will be at the High Point Overlook and is about fire. We're still creating that, but you might see it by the end of this year. So that's it for this episode. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We hope to see you next time, and until then, stay safe and sustainable out there.